All right. Good afternoon, man. This is video number 2 from the poverty lecture. Let's get after it. So we're going to take a look at a couple maps in the latter part of this lecture. Once the there we go. All right. So darker the color, the higher the percentage of the population that lives in poverty. Okay. So if we're taking a look at this map, all right, we can see that there are sizable portions of individuals living in poverty in the South. Okay, we got Texas over here. Okay, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Kentucky, West Virginia area over here. All right. So why are these the poorer regions? Well, if we take a look at the South in general, okay, there's a couple different reasons there. All right. One, those states tend to have less of a social safety net. So there are less welfare programs, less unemployment insurance, state benefits. So individuals that are without a job have less chance of help. Poverty tends to be in single parent households because the single parent has limited earning potential compared to multiple parent households. Well, the higher percentage of single parent households where it's only a mom, where a female is the head of the household, an overwhelming percentage of those households live in the South. So limited earning potential, especially female wages as compared to male wages. So that's another reason why you would say that why is the South a poorer region? Okay, so you have less of state welfare programs, less states have unemployment insurance in the South, a higher rate of single mom families, okay, in the South, okay. Also, higher percentage of rural workers in the South. And then as you lose those rural jobs, there's less places to get jobs from because it's mainly, more rural areas. So when you lose rural jobs, as you will in this area, there's less jobs available as a whole. So that increases the poverty. Okay, so if you take a look at that region. If we're looking up in this region right here, okay, Kentucky, West Virginia, coal. As the United States uses less coal, those individuals go unemployed. So what do they? All right, that's a big problem. And then if you take a look up here, biggest percentage of Native Americans live in this area. And so lack of jobs in those areas. Also, you've had an increase in South Dakota recently with fracking, but when fracking dries up and those towns get abandoned, and then poverty comes back. All right, so those are the main answers for those regions. All right. So this shows crime rate. Okay. Now, greener states, okay, the lighter the shade of green, the less amount of crime. All right. The darker, the closer we get to a puce color. I don't know what we would call that, but the more crime. Okay. So if we take a look at how does poverty lead to crime, how does this create a poverty map? If we look back up here, poverty high in the South, high here, then high here. Well, if we look at this map, okay, increased amount of poverty here, increased amount of crime here, increased amount of crime here. That kind of makes sense because if I'm not making money from a job, I tend to look to crime, petty theft to like get by. So if we take a look at crimes per 1,000 people, it's not surprising that a large portion, a higher percentage of crimes happen in these areas because those areas have, a higher poverty rate. And in order for me to get by day to day, I might have to steal stuff in order to live. So that's how poverty and crime are linked. That is the end of the second video, and we're done.